Right, some of you might have heard about the Gary Lineker story doing the rounds at the moment, with HMRC stating he owes them something like £4.9 million, £3.6 million in income tax and £1.6 million in national insurance, which I have to just say, fucking wow. It's literally a different world for these people, let me tell you. Imagine actually making enough money to owe nearly £5 million in tax and national insurance. And that is, of course, after you've already paid 38% of it, because this is not a case of him not paying any tax at all. This is him paying 38% tax when the government wants him paying 45%. He was apparently using his own company to work as a contractor for the BBC instead of a direct employee, so he could avoid some tax as a company director, taking most of his earnings as dividends to facilitate this. Now apparently that's not illegal or that uncommon, but clearly very shady and something the government are trying to stop. But with all that being said, and while it's great to see this woke wanker up shit creek, there is another part of this story not getting the attention it deserves. And that is the BBC's complicity in this situation, because it's not just Gary Lineker who benefits from these little loopholes here. It's actually the BBC who save a fuckload of money on national insurance payments by claiming he is a contracted worker, when we all know he's a BBC employee and the highest paid one at that. But on top of that, we also have to remember he also works for BT Sport, so maybe they're guilty of not paying the correct sums also like the BBC. But as it stands, the media seem to be avoiding much mention on that, to focus on Gary the migrant adopter Lineker, who it seems spends as much time avoiding his full tax bill as he does virtue signalling on Twitter. Now naturally, he's not the only TV host to fall foul of this. Eamon Holmes, Lorraine Kelly and some bint from Loose Women all had similar issues with varying outcomes. And I am willing to bet there's probably 100, 200, 300 or 1,000 more that are doing the same. But as the freelancer's representative points out here in the Telegraph, it should be the BBC getting spit roasted alongside Lineker here. And like I said, maybe BT Sport could also be involved with it. Shit, there could be hundreds or thousands of other companies that are literally doing the same thing. But he said the taxman's pursuit of Lineker was unfair because the BBC had been the main beneficiary of his arm's-length employment status by saving on the employer's slice of national insurance. Dave Chaplin, chief executive of Contractor Calculator, a body representing contractors, said the tax efficiency by hiring someone self-employed is actually obtained by the firm that hires them. In this case, it would have been the BBC, who would have avoided having to pay employers' national insurance of 13.8%, on top of whatever money were paid to Mr. Lineker, it says. To suggest he has avoided tax is pointing the finger in entirely the wrong direction. No, like I said, it's pointing it in the right direction, but the BBC should be getting it also. Either way, whatever turns out from this, whether it's illegal or not, is kind of irrelevant. It does not look good for Gary the illegal immigrant-loving shitweasel Lineker. And hopefully the story continues and someone drags the BBC into the shit with him. Let's be honest, while it's good news to see Gary Lineker up shit creek, the BBC certainly deserve to be along with him. In fact, they deserve it maybe even more.